What's up, guys? It's me, Alan. I'm back, and what a race that was! Not only do we have the championship four set for Phoenix next week for the Cup Series and L3 Series in general, but as Moonhead would say, and as David Land quoted in one of his F1 reaction videos from earlier this year, we got beef again. Holy crap, bro. If this was like 5 or 10 years ago or something like that, Hamlin and Bowman would have fucking wrecked each other in a fight on the front stretch. That would have been must-see TV. I'm going to get straight up with that. But anyway, so Alex Bowman, huge-ass victory right here. His fourth on the season. Sucks that didn't make the round of 8. So, because that win would have put him in the final 4. But regardless, we got a lot to talk about, so let's get into it, shall we? Make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and also make sure to use code NJJ for free shipping on orders of $20 or more at Circle Diecast. So, speaking of Denny Hamlin, he had to start at the back after failing tech inspection twice. So, he was the only driver to have to start back there. Elliott and Truex Jr. make a little bit of contact on the first lap, and pretty much from here on out, yeah, it was going to be something. So, Joey Gates had some early issues. He had to pit, went to the garage, came back, went to the garage again, and his day ended up being done later. We get a competition caution at lap 60, and Denny Hamlin speeding. Yeah, his day's already eventful. Has to start at the back and gets a speeding penalty after climbing up through the field and avoiding going a lap down before the comp caution. Ryan Newman brings out the next caution. Suarez got loose underneath him, and McDowell hit Newman. Everyone behind them having to avoid him. Elliott reportedly might have had a voltage issue by this point. It seemed to have gone away over the course of the race. DiBenedetto and Haley had left rear tire rubs. Chastain had to pit with a loose wheel. Austin Dillon gets in the back of Ryan Blaney. Both have damage. It's hard to tell if Blaney brake checked or if he just got loose off the corner or some shit, but Dillon bumped, and then got right into him. Kind of like what we saw yesterday in the Xfinity race with Ty Gibbs and Sam Mayer, where Ty Gibbs brake checks Mayer off the corner, and Mayer, gets that big-ass damage. Funny enough, Mayer finished top 5, so, yeah. Anyway, Gates done for the day. Electrical. Priest ended up going to the garage and comes back. And Chase Elliott grabs the stage 1 victory. Larson second. Truex Jr. third. Byron fourth. Oh my god. They just showed Hamlin's onboard when he drove up to Bowman. He gave him the double bird, flipped him off as he drove by, and I think somebody from the stands threw a beer or some shit because I saw something splash on his windshield or something. Oh my god. Holy shit. But anyway, so Elliott won stage 1, Larson second, Truex Jr. third, Byron fourth, Keselowski fifth, Kyle Busch sixth, Dillon seventh, Bowman eighth, Logano ninth, and Almirola 10th. That damage for Blaney, not to mention the fact that his car was not running right all day. It had issues all fucking day. Yeah, his day was fucked from the start. Kyle Larson gets a speeding penalty here in the same section that Hamlin had gotten one in. Then we get going with stage 2. Newman has a tire go down, he pits, and then he gets a speeding penalty as a result. Austin Dillon has a right front tire go down, we get a caution, Tyler Reddick gets bopped for speeding, and then we get through the rest of the stage. Elliott wins the stage 2, Bowman second, Byron third, Truex Jr. fourth, Hamlin fifth, Almirola sixth, Bell seventh, Keselowski eighth, Kyle Busch ninth, and Kurt Busch 10th. Chase Elliott, by virtue of winning both of the stages, locks his spot in to the championship 4. He will have a chance to defend his title next week at Phoenix. So he joins his teammate Kyle Larson. So by this point, it was all about who would get those other 2 spots. And Logano was in a must-win situation. Blaney pretty much needed Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, and Denny Hamlin all to have issues and fall out. And as for the other 3, well, it was a close-ass battle all the on points all the way through the rest of the day. So, and Kyle Busch, by the way, got a speeding penalty here. How about it? Haley has a massive left rear tire rub, makes it to pit road. comes off pit road, comes back a few laps later. Bubba Wallace almost gets in the wall thanks to Eric Jones. Caution comes out for Josh Bilicki spinning thanks to Corey LaJoie. Bubba Wallace gets a speeding penalty here. Hamlin either spins his tires or misses a shift, and so he has a bad restart here. And then we get another caution shortly thereafter for Quinn Half and Josh Bilicki. One of them ran the other one on the wall, but that didn't seem to matter. What mattered was Half spun on the backstretch, spun Bilicki, and NASCAR decided, yep, you're getting parked for 5 laps on pit road for spinning him out near safety cars, because if you watch, the safety car was pulling up behind them. So yeah, that happened. Beef on the back markers, why not? Hamlin says he missed a gear on the previous restart, left rear tire up for Blaney, and we get another caution, this time for Ross Chastain and Ryan Newman. Newman makes heavy contact with the wall on the backstretch. Chastain with the right front tire down. Cole Custer almost turned Newman off of turn 2, and as he corrected, that was got him into Chastain. Chastain kind of gave him a bump afterward, Newman that is, not realizing that it was Custer that did that, so that happened. Logano stayed out while others would pit, and apparently, NASCAR must have been really pissed off because they threatened Quinn Half's team to reset the penalty lap counter every time the crew walked near the car during that time period. I don't think they ended up doing that, but yeah, it's just like, wow. And anyway, by this point, Truex Jr. looked like he was possibly having some overheating issues. Caution would come out again, this time for Cole Custer spinning off turn 4. Then we get another caution, this time for Daniel Suarez going for a spin thanks to Chase Briscoe. Larson gets another speeding penalty. DiBenedetto got hell of a lap for pitting outside the box. Dillon, Reddick, and Custer would stay out for the restart. Bubba Wallace had to pit a little bit later for a loose wheel. Austin Dillon brings out the caution again, getting in the wall with a tire down. Garrett Smithley would get a speeding penalty here. And then right thereafter, big damage for Martin Truex Jr. with a tire rub. I didn't see who he ran in the back of, but that happened. And he also ended up getting a tire rub. Now, by this point, the guy, they already had their last set of tires on. They could not, they didn't have any more tires left. So, basically, Truex had to tough it out the rest of the race. And they couldn't pit, because if they did, they would have lost spots. And that would have costed them dearly this late in the race. So we get going again. Brad Keselowski ends up, running hard with Chase Elliott, and he ends up turning him. No damage for Elliott because he didn't get in the wall, but caution would come out. Elliott and a few others would pit. Truex Jr., as I said, he would stay out to avoid losing spots because of damage. Then we get another caution, this time for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. with heavy damage to Bubba Wallace's front end. Elliott looked like he had some left rear damage, and Stenhouse Jr. had gotten in the back of Larson thanks to Buescher, and both spun. Wallace got in the back of Elliott, which caused the damage to his car, and I believe Larson had to pit as well here, and a few others I think pitted as well, or whatever. Anyway, Keselowski and Bowman make contact a few times. Truex Jr. tries to take both of them 3 wide, and Truex gets loose. Luckily, no caution. It looked like here that Bowman had a left front tire rub, and at this point, I'm thinking to myself, dear God, this is not going to end well. Truex falls back, gets in the wall. We get a caution for Ryan Preece right after that. He spins with the left front tire down. Bowman, and then we get to the restart. Bowman moves Hamlin out of the way in 3 and 4. And then like the next lap, he gave it back, or the next corner, he gave it back, so that way did not get dumped. And Hamlin took it without really much incident. Hamlin and Bowman are racing each other hard. And then with 6 laps, about 6 to 7 laps to go, Bowman spins Hamlin. This was huge, and the crowd roared for this one. Caution comes out. We get the restart. Bowman, it looked like he fucked up a shift into turns 1 and 2, but he holds on to it. He holds on to the lead, and Alex Bowman grabs his 4th win of the season, winning at Martinsville, getting himself his first grandfather clock, and, yeah. And then, afterward, Kyle Busch dumps Brad Keselowski in, the next corner, after the fact. Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. made it in on points, at least as of right now. We'll see what happens with inspection and if that will change anything. But as I said before, Hamlin came up, smokes the front tires a little bit, and sort of parks his car in front of Bowman. Bowman goes around it, and then Hamlin spins it around. They locked front bumpers together for like a moment. Did a little bit of a burnout. And then Hamlin left and then Hamlin went away because I think his spotter, his crew chief or whatever, basically said, focus, bigger picture, yada, yada, yada. Like, bro, let them fight. If Hamlin's got beef, and he did, let them fight. Like, fuck it. Like, after everything this is Martinsville, for fuck's sake. Like, yeah, it might impact Hamlin, but screw it. Bro, this is Denny Hamlin we're talking about here. Like, come on. Besides, I'm pretty sure Bowman probably would hold his own. I mean, would it suck to see him get punched in the face? Probably. But, hey, shit happens. And Bowman even said after the fact, he wasn't trying to wreck Hamlin. He didn't have the intent to wreck Hamlin. I mean, he pointed out the fact that he gave the spot back to Hamlin out on in the very next corner after moving him out of the way for the lead the previous corner earlier. So it's like, bruh. And then fucking Hamlin gets interviewed. He calls Bowman a hack. Says that his other Hendrick teammates outrun him every fucking week. With Bowman running fucking 10th. He says that Bowman can't drive. That he's terrible. And gets booed the fuck out of the fucking track. Like, the boos just rain down on him. Hamlin, let's get one thing straight here. You couldn't win until the fucking playoffs. You choked a win away at Richmond to Bowman, and he raced you clean then. You want to talk about how people have been driving? Dude, you came off winning 6, 7, 8 races last year, and again, you couldn't win until the playoff opener. What the fuck are you talking about? Yes, Bowman might not be at the top of his game yet. Keyword is yet. But he ain't no fucking slouch. And he takes his opportunities when he can. Easily, this was the best race that Bowman has had this season and probably since Richmond or one of the earlier races. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, holy shit. But anyway, what a race that was. I really thought somebody was going to... Elliott got turned. Hamlin got turned. I thought on that last restart, somebody was going to get dumped. If Keselowski could get closer to Kyle Busch, I'm pretty sure Keselowski would have dumped him. Martin Truex Jr., he somehow survives at the end despite the issue that he was having. And there you go. So your championship for next weekend at Phoenix, it's going to be Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, and Martin Truex Jr. Hendrick Motorsports versus Joe Gibbs Racing, and I guess you could say a WWE tag team match, if you will. This is going to be epic next week to see these guys race for the title. It sucks that Blaney, Kyle, Brad, and Logano got eliminated, but let's be honest here. Logano needed to win, and the closest he came to winning was staying out at one point when others pitted. Martin, Brad, and Kyle were the ones that were up near the front majority of the race. You could argue that if Kyle doesn't get his speeding penalty earlier, maybe he's not as fucked. You could argue that if Truex Jr. didn't have the issues with his car, he'd be closer to the front and maybe could have won this thing. Brad was just charging through towards the end, so he was busting everybody's ass. I thought he was going to dump a few people, honestly. But that's the other thing, too, is Brad somehow survived all the way to the round of 8, when a lot of us I think a lot of people had him going out early. Martin made it all the way here, even though he kind of had a lack of momentum going into the playoffs. There's Chase talking to Alex up on the stage there. I honestly call that payback for what Hamlin did to Elliott back in 2017 and shit. Um, but yeah, no, that was wild. That this race had it all, and never move this race on the schedule. This race needs to stay where it's at in terms of being a cutoff race going into Phoenix. Hell, we need to take Texas off the schedule and put a third Martinsville race on there. Nobody would object to that because that's how fucking good this track is. Wow. What a race. What a weekend. Your championship fours are set. The Truck Series Championship is going to come down to John Hunter Nemechek, Ben Rhodes, Matt Crafton, and Zane Smith. Your Cup Championship is going to come down to Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., pending inspection. And your Xfinity Championship is going to come down to Austin Cindric, AJ Allmendinger, Noah Gragson, and Daniel Hemrick. This is what, playoffs aside, this is gonna get nuts. And I cannot wait to see who will walk away with the title. I'm thinking about doing now that we've gotten everything set, I'm thinking about doing a video on who I think will win each of the titles. So I might come out with that sometime this week. Oh yeah, somebody did throw a beer at Hamlin. When Hamlin drove up to Bowman, somebody did throw a beer at him. But goddamn. So, I mean, as far as the Cup Series goes, Martin Truex Jr. could get his second title. Larson could get his first and cap off this dominant season that he's had in his return to the Cup Series. Could Denny Hamlin not choke for once? Or will Chase Elliott retain the title and become a back-to-back champion? Well, we'll see. Thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.